mounting hardware for the radiator.
Oh yeah, look at
that. These are Stover nuts.
Okay.
Are you familiar with what they are?
Yep.
I use them so that you don't have to worry about the Teflon lock nut failing due to heat.
Okay.
The only downside to them is technically they're a one-time use.
Well, do it right the first time.
But nothing a little blue Loctite couldn't fix either.
Right.
So what we're going to do is have one person underneath, slide it up into place with the motor mounts in between. Okay. And then have the other person feed the Sharpie down through the top and mark where we're going to drill.
Do you want the thin or the big one, or does it matter?
Thin would be better because you're going to want it to be able to
fits in there.
Just
okay,
like that.
Cool. Well, that's a tight fit.
Oh, it is. Got it in there?
Yep, if you can see the holes.
I see it. Camera sees it.
Okay.
Get in there. Get in there. Oh, I'm going to take the down. The problem is, bumper is not. The bumper is, there we go. It was too far in. Yep, mark it. Yep, there are. Sure is. Okay. All right, hold on. So, this is the size of the washer that goes over it.
Okay.
I recommend making the hole considerably larger than the bolt. Reason being, as this radiator heat cycles, it grows.
Okay.
And you don't want anything restraining it. You don't want it bouncing around, but you don't want it restrained.
So just, yeah, because we're going to oversize it.
Does that only need to be done to this top here? Or
yeah, the bottom one will drill once we put the lower bracket up in place.
Gotcha.
And not everybody.
Right.
You could test fit your bolt through there.
Yeah, that's probably.
Okay. It's one of these.
Yeah.
That aluminum gums the shit out of those bits.
There's actually a wax stuff for cutoff wheels and bits for doing aluminum that prevents that. I don't know what it's called. The shop that does all my fabrication uses it.
Big difference. Then.
Yeah, he just needs lube.
Let's go ahead and move this one out. Yeah, that would be consistent. Shot in there. Yep.
Oh, it's in there. So now do you set it back up into place again?
Yeah, now it's time to bolt it up in there. And then once we get it bolted in there, before we get it real tight, we need to put the degas fitting in.
Okay.
It's impossible to get it in there with the degas fitting into place.
So we want to put it on now?
No,
once
you
it's
can't
in.
get it in.
You can't get it in. With
Yeah.
that. Okay.
So.
It's aluminum, so it's super soft. Yeah, I'd say this is definitely a two-person job. This would be a nightmare trying to do this by myself.
It would be
I'd get
next
it
to
done,
impossible,
It
but
would
Piss me off.
you definitely fill the cuss jar.
Oh yeah.
All
All right.
you go. Just make it finger tight for now.
no washer on that bottom side?
Oh yeah, there is.
Okay. Is right side not steel?
Yeah. Could be.
Oh, yeah, she's on. Okay.
Yep, side.
Good to go.
There's that.
Oh, right, just wait.
You're good. I'm just holding the radio.
Take the bumper needs to come out a little bit.
Okay, hold on. There we go. Get through.
Okay.
Okay, bolts are on.
Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's in there.
Let's see. Now the grating, did you epoxy that from the back or the front? Oh, you can just get right in
From the back.
Okay, yeah, there's plenty of room. Okay, that's pretty freaking cool. Would you give me a light, Bo?
Yeah, where is it at?
Oh, never mind. You can see pretty good here. So one bumper, where is it? There it is. Two bumper, and the nozzles point down. Okay, good enough.
So the hardest part about this whole job
Nice.
is getting that hose onto this fitting.
Okay.
I don't know why, but this is the fitting Ron provides with the truck, and it's supposed to be 1/4 inch, but it doesn't feel like it when we're trying to put that hose on.
Okay.
So my recommendation is
we need to
get
slot it
the
up?
put something on it to make it slick,
Okay.
and put the hose on it, like using the vise to hold this still,
Okay.
and then we'll thread this onto the radiator with the hose already on it. This part will make you fill the cuss jar.
Okay.
It does not want to go on there.
Spray a little on the inside of that tube.
Yep. Okay.
Anyway,
I'm trying to think of
how to grab it and push it.
Yeah.
You're doing it the way you gotta do it. At least that's the way I
Keep
do
going.
it. It's
Turn it as you do it.
You can turn the spring off.
We're almost there.
Yep. So consider perspective. The first time I did this,
Oh,
I already had the
I
radio.
was gonna say, yeah, the place you're trying to get on the truck.
It's got to go all the way down to the top of that.
You want it to, so, or is there a clamp that goes on this, Joe?
Yeah, there is.
You're probably.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. All right.
Yes, sir.
So, do you have liquid pipe dope or Teflon tape?
I have Teflon tape.
Okay.
Do you
And then
prefer liquid?
You want
or-
it. Well, no.
Okay.
Either one will work. You just don't want to go aluminum thread to aluminum thread
Yeah.
because it can gall.
Gotcha.
And it's the tape that seals it, not seating it.
What is gall?
Gall. Okay, when you have two soft metals and you try to thread them together, the threads can actually bind. Even though it's not cross-threaded, the material will actually try to fuse,
Oh,
and there's no getting it out.
just from the friction of the
And-
two soft metals.
Yep.
Okay.
And it will not tighten and it will not come off once that happens. It's just bad juju. You can get a better visual on it looking through the hole in the front of the bumper.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Oh, okay. You know what size that is, Joe?
Not off my head.
There you go.
It's marked on hard, right? Okay.
Stop spinning.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to get it from the backside now, because you're not gonna have a lot of range of motion there. And there's probably more room through here to turn it with a wrench than going through the hole.
Okay. Ahead.
If you just do it from here and run your working hand down here,
Uh-huh.
and you can see what you're doing.
Oh, I
From
see
the
what
top
you're
side.
saying.
Yes.
How tight does this need to be?
That's probably good.
Okay.
And like I said, if it does have a little seepage, just give it another little turn. But it's the Teflon tape
Is
that
what
seals
seals
it,
it.
not seating it.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot.
So
Now that just slides on. Was I smart? I was. Look at that.
Now left-handed? Look at you. You want to trade me sides?
No, you're fine. Okay.
sweet.
Yep, that's not going anywhere.
All right. So now we can finish snugging the bumper down,
Okay.
and we can tighten those top bolts on the radiator.
Okay. Everything down.
Yep. We only use 2 of those now.
Okay.
And those 2 are going to be the ones that go here and here, obviously, because we replaced the ones that go there.
Okay.
Alright, now we can do snug the outside ones.
Okay.
Both those down. We're up here.
Oh.
Set this thing into place.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and route that. You basically want to get it back into here because that's
Okay.
where you're going to tie into the degas any which way you want to go. There's a gap between the intercooler and the air box.
I see that right here.
Yep. I provide a lot more hose than what you're going to need.
Yep.
So that people have options.
Okay, let me get underneath.
Let me see what I can do. Oh yeah. Okay. Can you reach that right corner going?
That's it. You're good up.
There we go. Pull all that up here. Work.
And then this is going to go to the here,
To-
right?
Here. Right
Oh, it's
here's
just going
about
right
where I
there?
tie it. I
Oh,
mean, you
tie
can
it
tie
in.
in anywhere you want, but
Okay.
this typically
No,
is
that's
where
perfect.
I do it. What you don't want is for this hose to be higher than your connecting point at any particular place. So
I see.
you want to route it so that you come up from underneath.
Okay.
That way you don't get an air bubble trapped in it.
Okay.
But this is the last thing we hook up.
So you're not trying to create a P trap on top.
Yeah, you want to keep the air out.
Correct.
Good call.
All right.
Okay.
So now this thing, we're going to need to finish cutting this etched part out.
Okay, with scissors or
Whatever, box cutter, scissors, however you want to do it.
You have these laser cut?
These are large.
Large,
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's get it sorted.
Yeah, I just fold. Oh, yeah. Oh.
and then
So that hole goes around those,
okay. And then I
just
see
like
the
the factory one did.
yeah. Let's see here.
Like so. And then here's and these push them in place however you can. Yep, just like that. Try to slide that through this under that lip right there.
Let's see where you're looking. Oh, I see. Okay. Here we go. Okay.
Couple zip ties for the.
Is that gonna? That should be an issue for that hose right now.
No, it's
Okay.
not gonna rip those.
Okay.
And then couple zip ties for the upper edges, however you want to.
There are holes on them.
Yeah, there's a hole on each end.
Oh, there's one.
You're fine. Is that right? What's it, guys? I know you have these long, flexy zip ties. Right. Okay, now we'll grab it.
All right, so a couple directions we can go now. We can either do the electrical for the fan now
Okay.
while we have a little more room to work, or we can finish doing the lower bracket and these dog ears.
Let's do the electrical first,
Okay,
because that is usually easier with more room.
if you lift this, actually this comes up too. There's a terminal right there that you can attach to.
I just need to make sure I remember where those go. I probably should just drill a hole on the side. I did not know that. I feel so stupid now because I would route these wires up under this.
Oh,
You still can now.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I?
there's little clips on either side, and then it just lifts.
It's hitting that corner base.
It
As
is
you
hitting that.
lift it, watch, lift it and listen.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let me pop that up. I want to do this right, so.
Electrical connections.
Oh yeah.
So the terminals become necessary.
Yep, that makes sense.
There you go. Right there.
Okay.
That fusible link
set
is.
that up there right now. Do I need to disconnect the battery before we do this?
I would.
Okay. Now, of course. Okay. All right.
So there's your harness and thermostat. Fan. So I use 185 degree thermostat.
Okay.
Reason being, unless you're pushing this motor hard, the coolant coming out of your main radiator is rarely above 185.
Yeah.
That way the fan is only working when the truck is
When it
working
needs
hard.
to. Okay. All right, so we don't need directions because we have Joe. This goes to the fan, obviously. Okay. And this goes on that terminal?
No,
Okay.
that's your relay.
Okay, that's the relay. Okay. So where do we start? The fan?
All right.
Or-
Well, so you can hook this up to the fan, and that'll
Okay.
give you an idea where you need to go from with it.
And these connectors are going to go on these wires, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is what's going to be what goes
On the
between the terminal and that,
Yep.
because there's where your fuse is. Okay. And then so this is going to go to the fan and then to that.
Okay.
This is your ground tab. It's going to go to the same place as this ground tab.
Okay.
So this electrical wire is going to go from that to wherever you decide to ground this out.
Okay.
So apparently our camera died just before we did the electrical on the fan. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown real quick. This is the thermostat that controls the fan on your auxiliary radiator. You're going to follow the instructions for the single fan wiring diagram. In doing so, you're going to have a couple ground wires that are pretty obvious and self-explanatory. The only part you kind of have to figure out is how to get power. Now your main power that comes with your big fuse is going to go to a post and the inside of your fuse box. I'll have a photo spliced into this video showing exactly where that is. And the other power you need to find is auxiliary power that comes on when you turn the key on. You'll tie into the fuse box with that using either one of these, which tags onto an existing fuse port, or you can find an auxiliary wire and splice into it. Here's your relay that distributes power to the fan. Your thermostat tells the fan when to turn on and off. Here's your wire that plugs into the fan and the assorted wires that go along with that.